Party is concerned in Edo State. So with me this morning is the Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Edo State, Honorable Chris. All right, that Honorable Chris Nehi Harry.
I think it's just Mr. Chris.
Okay, Mr. Chris Nehi Harry, welcome on set.
Yes,
you see, when we started the conversation offline, I started by asking you this question, which I'm going to repeat again. Do we have a PDP in Edo State?
Well, that question is actually very condescending.
Okay.
To ask the only opposition party in Nigeria.
Okay, the only in Nigeria. Okay.
If they have presence in Edo State.
Okay.
And it's also not a nice question because I'm sure you are aware the Edo State PDP across the country has been repeatedly called and defined as the most progressive, the most active, and the most effective opposition in the country. And it has done so consistently in the last 8 years under the leadership of Chief Dan Obi. I have served as Police Secretary in the last 4 years, and Edo people are aware of the role we have played. I don't know if you're new to politics or new to Edo State, hence you do not have or know about the activities of opposition or of PDP in Edo State. But I'll just remind you of one or two issues that are still burning till today. I'm sure you're aware that a few years ago, Governor Oshomole, the then governor, attempted to sell the Edo House in Lagos. Edo State PDP mobilized Edo people from Benin all the way to Lagos to stop that illegal sale. Till this day, that property is still the property of Edo State government, still the property of Edo State people. Without an effective and organized opposition, that wouldn't have been possible. I'm sure you're also aware that Nigerians, especially the people, were hoodwinked 3 years ago when the Central Hospital was commissioned by President Buhari. Edo State people Edo State PDP drew the attention of Edo State people to that illegal commissioning. We went there, took a patient there, and then all Edo people discovered that what was in that building was an empty hall, no equipment and nothing. And that position of PDP was upheld by this present government when it said that the equipment were not present and kept that under lock and key for close to 3 years. This is just one or two of the issues we have raised as an opposition in the country, in this state, and about our existence, which you seem not to be recognizing. I can go on, but I'm sure in the course of this conversation, I will tell you more, and you will know more of the roles we've been playing in the last, at least in the last 4 years till date.
Okay, now let's go straight to the nitty-gritty. Political parties in Nigeria. A political party should be driven by ideology. I want to ask a question now. Looking at the political party system in Nigeria, do you see it as a system that is being driven by ideology?
I think consistently from the time of independence, Nigeria has not developed such a system whereby we say this is the ideology or not the ideology of the other party. I think nowadays what we define as ideology, in the past, it used to be that you are conservative, you are communist, socialist, or whatever terminology. But I think now, when we talk about ideology, we talk about programs which the parties tend to put out to the electorate. And so I think that's how you define ideology. And then not only having programs, but having a roadmap to implement those programs. So I think that's what today we call ideology. And also, leaders of the party, or a single leader, his personnel determines the ideology of that party today.
Okay.
That is why you see such a shift. If the person that leads your party or heads your party, you don't like his face, you don't like the way he thinks or what he's doing, you are shifting to the other party.
And should it
that is the fluidity that the parties have. I'm not saying that there have not been people that have been loyal to their brand, to the party brand that they belong to, or many people are there. But the leadership or the leader of the party, most times, it is his thinking that determines the ideology of the party.
Should it be so? Is that the norm?
Well, in time, what I will find is level. All of us of like mind and of like thinking will end up in the same political party. And those that think the other way will end up in another political party. I think that's the flexibility which we enjoy today. But as time goes on, we'll find out that everything will level out. And you'll now discover that those that make promises, that they want to keep, are able to keep their promises, have a roadmap to maintain their promises, will all belong to PDP. And they also discovered that those that want to make promises but deceive the people to be in power will belong to APC. And the people of Nigeria in time will discover that PDP is more honest, more responsible, and more determined to serve the people than a party that will say anything to achieve power, which is APC.
Now, I want to ask a question. Is that not what political parties in Nigeria are known for?
No, it is not.
Going into election to wrestle power, and what to do with the power afterward, forget it. It's not...
No, I think you're judging Nigeria from the experience in the last 3 years or 4 years under this government, under the APC government. Under the PDP government, the government consistently tried and worked towards a roadmap to achieve, for Nigeria to achieve greatness, to lift Nigerians out of poverty, to expand our industrial base, to increase education, make sure education gets to everybody. That was the ideology, and that was the drive of our party, PDP.
And they tried to achieve that for 16 years.
It takes forever. In America today, they still campaign for education, they still campaign for industrialization, they still campaign for unemployment.
You know what? I'm going to hold you accountable now. You said it takes forever to be able to achieve this.
It takes forever. You have to keep improving yourself.
Okay, then.
You have to keep improving things.
So why is your party crying as far as what President Muhammadu Buhari is doing now? Because it's just barely 4 years.
Our party is not crying. Nigerians are crying.
Okay. But the same Nigerians cried when your party was in power. And they called for a change.
Oh, no.
They seek a change, and they got a change.
Yes, because they were deceived. They were told lies. Things were built up. It's like an onion. The more you cut the onion, the more layers you discover inside the onion. The APC successfully deceived Nigeria. It successfully deceived Nigeria. And Nigerians till today are regretting voting out a government that was liberal in terms of legal and obeyed court laws, a government that was expanding the economy of the country, a government that made things work in the country. But Nigerians were lied to. And like all humans, when you've had something for such a long time, you now don't feel the value anymore.
Okay.
You say, let me go for a change.
Okay.
That's the change we're experiencing today.
Okay.
Today, we're one of the poorest countries in the world.
Okay.
Today, Nigerians are crying day in, day out.
Okay.
You know, because of the failed policies of this government.
Mr. Chris, I like the way you are speaking the mind of Nigerians. But I want to ask you a question. The same Nigerians that you are speaking their mind, they had the opportunity of correcting, if they were deceived, they had the opportunity of correcting these old issues, these old deceits that came upon them in 2015. But they still decide to choose the APC over the PDP.
You resident here in Edo State, you are?
Yes.
In where you voted in Edo State, did they choose APC?
No, I want to ask you a simple question. The presidential election,
that's what
it's collective, it's nationwide. The result from Edo State.
No, sir, listen.
Okay.
Listen, sir. In Edo State, PDP won the presidential election.
Okay.
In many other states across the country,
they won.
PDP won the presidential election.
Just where they lost in other states.
In some other states, they lost.
Okay, good.
Now, if you look at the areas they lost, and especially, let me just use one of the borderline states across the northern part of Nigeria, where there is a porous border, where all sorts of juveniles, underage, all sorts of people, non-Nigerians coming. We're all aware, we've seen pictures of these people voting in the election to determine who rules Nigeria. So the integrity of that election in those areas are suspect.
Okay. Just the way it is with every election in Nigeria?
No, not with every election. We do not have, those states do not bother any other country. So I can tell you for a fact that everybody that voted in those states, rightly or wrongly, majority of them were registered there and legally entitled to vote, majority of them for the presidential election.
Okay.
And those people voted against a government that have impoverished them.
Okay. But other states where APC won?
Not other states. No, in some states APC won.
Okay, in some states
APC won. Those states also do not have compromised compromised borders.
Okay.
APC won Lagos State.
Okay.
So I cannot say Lagos State has a compromised border. I can say that maybe majority of those that voted are actually Nigerians. But I cannot say that for some states in northern.
But your party had the opportunity to prove this in the tribunals.
Well, I don't want to now start casting aspersion on the judgment. But if the judgment was free and fair, or actually to the standard which you expected, we will be going to appeal. We are the appeal court.
Okay, so let's wait for the outcome. Now, let's get down to Edo State. Edo State is preparing for elections in 20, because with this an online media, so we actually is the pulse we get from the internet as far as the cyberspace is concerned in Edo State that will enable us to choose the kind of question we'll decide. Now, the question I want to ask is this: if you go to the cyberspace, especially in Edo State, it's difficult for you to differentiate the PDP followers and the believers in Godino Baseki. Now, before I go to ask you the question, I want to ask you a question now. Talking about political party and individuals now, you see people from your party telling us that they don't like APC, but they like the person in power, therefore they are rooting for that person. So what is your chances, the chance of your party going into 2020 election?
That question, has it also occurred to you there's probably a strategy by PDP to destabilize the APC?
Okay, it's possible, it's a strategy.
Okay, so I think I'll leave that.
No, we are not going to allow you leave it at that. The reason why we're not going to allow you leave it at that is because, judging from the crisis that is currently going on in the APC, it is an opportunity for your party to stamp its feet on the floor. Though we hear stories of internal crisis, though it's not made public as it is with the APC in your party. Now, the question I want to ask you, how prepared is your party for 2020 election?
BDP is very prepared for the election. In fact, it's the only party right now where we are campaigning, mobilizing, educating, and talking to our people about the elections of next year. There's still time, because for you to have an election, you have to have a candidate. Our candidates have not emerged. It's the only party where we have a plethora of aspirants. Not one, not two, not three, at least 5 aspirants going for the position of governor of Edo State under PDP. And they are going from village to village, ward to ward, discussing to party members to make them the candidates of the party.
We see a situation when there is an internal crisis with the ruling party. One would expect if it's business, it's an opportunity for your competitors to catch in on it and get to stamp their feet. But it's a situation when your own members of your party, instead of them catching in on the opportunity, they are going straight to begin to support a particular candidate in the opposition party.
And provoking members of APC
okay.
that are against that particular candidate.
Okay.
Yes. And when this happens, what happens? There's chaos in that party.
Okay.
Now, I've told you, consider it
a strategy.
It may be a strategy.
It may be a strategy. And you know what? APC, they are listening to you.
Good. I want them to listen. I want them to listen. Because right now, they are the cause of the non-development of Edo State. Their political arrogance, their political intolerance, and their political non-thinking cost where we are today. We had a system whereby every 4 years there's an election, someone is nominated, and the governorship and the governor elected done. But under their party, somebody apparently, from what we hear now, was imposed on them, and they did all sorts of work for him to emerge as governor. Only you and I can imagine what kind of work they did for the man to emerge as governor. And now the man has changed the style for which they are accustomed to a style he believes is the best style. And half of the party is saying this style is deceptive, this style is not true. The same thing we complain about APC all along, that is a party made out of deception. They are not happy with the style being run by the present governor, and so they are resenting it. The present governor is saying, I'm not going to do what you guys want me to do, blah, blah, blah. And so there is that internal combustion, and we encourage it. Let them end up in Ring Road to actually exchange blows for all I care. What cares or what matters to PDP are the Edo people who are suffering from this lack of governance that is going on. And they'll have a choice to make when the elections are held sometime next year, August or September next year. They have a choice to make whether they want to remain under the perpetuating government of APC or a government that is ready to serve the people without interference from a so-called godfather.
Now, we are going to go on a short break, but before then, I'm going to give you an insight to the question I'm going to be asking you. During the regime of Governor Adams Oshomole, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, we keep saying that the chairman of your party, Honorable Dan Obi, Chief Dan Obi is always out with press statement, letting us know some loopholes in the government. But it's not so consistent with Governor Gordon Obaseki's administration, is it an approval to what Obaseki is doing? Is it that your party, they love the style of governance? I'm not going to allow you to answer that question now. We'll go on a short break, but when we come back, we would like you to provide answer to that question.
No problem.
Extent. Welcome back. Before we went on the break, I decided to throw this question to Mr. Chris and Naikari concerning how the view of the People's Democratic Party as far as the governor's style of Governor Gordon Obaseki is concerned, because we discovered that you guys don't seem to engage the government as you used to engage Comrade Adams Oshomole. Is it an approval to a style of governance, or you guys are only reserving your comments till when it matters more, which is the electionary period? Let's say your view.
Oh, no. I think, well, you may be thinking we're not engaging enough, but I think we've done a lot, especially in drawing the attention of Edo people to the drawbacks of this government, the areas we've not been comfortable with. And there's many areas, even right from when he came in, you remember that we had a lot of herdsmen issues in Edo State 2-3 years ago, as soon as this government came in. I'm sure you're also aware that one of the first opposition, they said the private members bill to the State House of Assembly for them to pass a bill regarding ranching for herdsmen to stop the attack and killings of our farmers in the rural areas. We also engaged him in the issue of the central hospital, which he refused to open, and pushed a lot on that. Talked a lot about the Tara Akpata University, the Kaduna that has been abandoned, the College of Education that are closed, the non-accreditation of the nursing school, the style of government, the bad roads which he is doing, the amount of money he has borrowed. In fact, I think we've engaged this government more than we did engage Oshomole's government. So I don't think there's any preference. A government is a government, and we're in opposition, and our duty is to raise the awareness of the people to hold the government to very high standard, which I think we have done very successfully. This government thinks twice before it does anything because of the opinion and the views that our opposition will express when it comes to their governance. And to a lot of our issues, I'm sure if you Google, you will discover that this government has written more reactions to press release and press statements from PDP than any other government or any other government across the country in this state. We have engaged them very seriously, and they are also very careful to make sure that they work according to the law. We engage them on the legality of the House of Assembly. We engage them on lack of fire brigade service and the burden on the market and how they fail to react to it. We engage them on the way they talk about agripreneurs but are not able to produce one agripreneur or 1 millionaire. We engage them on the 200,000 jobs they promised, which they gave 200,000 promises and 200,000 excuses. We engage them on a wide range of issues. And it will be unfair to Edo people for you to say we have not engaged this government.
So, Mr. Chris, why this crisis in the APC tariffs? From the information we've been getting online, we discovered that the governor is turned into a beautiful groom that everybody wants to get married to. And we've gotten feelers that your party has been making moves to lure him to your party so that you can feed him as the gubernatorial candidate in the next election. And to confirm this, we've seen some of the elder statesmen in your party, I don't want to mention names now, go to pay him solidarity visits in government house. So please, let's hear your take on this. Is there any plan? Is there any plan of bringing in Governor Gordon Obaseki or giving him the ticket in your party?
First of all, I think it would be an insult to PDP members that have served the party, worked for the party, developed the party, grown the party, for us to think that only through somebody that has been rejected by his party, rejected by the people, that can now become a candidate to run for election. This is disingenuous, and I think it's unfair when you think in that direction. PDP is a democratic party. It's probably the only democratic party in this country. We accept all manner of people to come and join us. If you want to contest the governorship, you'll go through the process like everybody else, through the primaries. If you win a ticket, we'll support you. If you don't get a ticket, you stay in line like the others have been doing. That is the policy of PDP.
Okay, which means means automatic ticket, which means that bringing in somebody like Governor Gordon Obaseki to your party.
Nobody's going to bring in someone like Gordon Obaseki.
Okay, is there any talk at all? Have there been any meeting?
No, there has not been no meeting. There has not been any talk. Okay. If Gordon Obaseki wants to come to PDP, he's welcome.
Okay.
We will not stop him, just like we will not stop anybody else from coming to our party.
Okay.
That is the position of the party. Now, we talk about elder statesmen going to visit and pay. No, they're not going to pay solidarity visit. Chief Isama Igbenya, our leader.
So we didn't mention names.
Well, you only have two people
that
have been to government house to see or visit with Governor Obaseki.
Okay.
And they are Chief Igbenedion and Chief Tommy Kemi.
Okay.
Chief Igbenedion went to invite him to his university when he was doing graduation. I'm sure if you...
and we heard statement like we are solidly behind you in that during the visit.
It could be university.
Okay, solidly behind him in the university.
Maybe okay. Yeah, because I can tell you, Igbenedion is not the chairman of the party. At the same time, he's also not the policy of the party. So he could not have made any statement on behalf of the party.
Okay.
Chief Tommy Kemi made no statement when he visited Obaseki. When he spoke to me, he told me and assured me that he went there for something entirely different.
I want to ask you a question, Mr. Chris. There's a parable. The hour cried at night, the child died in the morning.
Yeah.
So how do we justify that?
If you believe in witchcraft.
That's if you believe
in witchcraft. I'm a Catholic, I don't believe in
witchcraft. Yes, I know if we're meant to verify any information we get from the Bush radio.
Yes.
But the truth about it, when you keep hearing this thing continuously.
You don't keep hearing, no. It's the narrative you are pushing, like you're pushing it here now. The narratives of people are pushing. I'm telling you categorically, I'm telling you as a fact.
Okay.
Obaseki has not approached Edo PDP for our ticket. And PDP Edo State has not approached Obaseki for our ticket. We're encouraging our party members that have toiled and sold for the party to go out, which they're already doing, to seek for the ticket effectively and actively. Edo people are the ultimate deciders of who becomes governor. And we believe we have people that will appeal to Edo people. Not one that carries the baggage as much as Obasi carries right now. Because he has offended so many people in his party. And in doing so, many people
allegedly.
Well, it's no longer allegedly, because these people come out every day and they form the group within his party and call itself APM to say that Obaseki is not going to go get a second term. They will make sure he doesn't do it. And I believe they're not just saying that just within their party, but I'm saying it as a generality.
Now, let me ask you this question now. Your own party.
Yes.
The state chairman of your party.
Yeah.
What's happening to your Congress? The issue of extension, the issue of some persons calling for the end for his administration and for there to be a re-election. What's going on?
See, that's why I told you just now, it's a democratic process.
Okay.
We open our doors, everybody can speak and say what they want to say. The chairman's tenure, along with my tenure, expires in March 2020. Anything anyone else is saying is his own personal opinion.
Okay.
The national executive of our party, the national chairman, Chief Secondus, has said that the tenure of this executive ends on March 13th, 2020. And that's when it ends. Nobody can rule the party to do his own bidding, whether they're one way or the other. The party is organized. It is not a kangaroo party. Someone was sworn in March 2016. A tenure runs for 4 years. And I'm sure they do the simple arithmetic to determine that the tenure will end 4 years after that, which is March 2020.
There's this news going on online that the chairman of your party in Edo State has been given an unofficial appointment as a special advisor to the governor of Rivers State. Because we've seen pictures online that the chairman of your party is always in Rivers State commissioning project with Governor Wike, and it looks as if this man he has relinquished or he has abdicated. That's what he has abdicated.
Where is your president of Nigeria today?
Yes, it's out on official assignment.
Where was he 2 weeks ago?
So I want to ask you a question now. Is the state chairman of PDP residing in Rivers State for official assignment?
Is the president of Nigeria residing in Russia for special assignment?
No, I want to give me answer to my question.
I'm asking you to see, there's some things some clowns write in the social media. I don't think you should be asking.
No, pictures. We see pictures online.
Yeah, it's in Rivers State to visit the Rivers State governor. And Rivers State governor, I'm going to do this commission. He will come with me. Yes, I will. And he goes.
Not once, not twice.
It will be every other day of the week. It doesn't matter as long as Edo State PDP is in order. The chairman of the PDP in Edo State is not the only person that runs or manages the affairs of PDP. It doesn't have to be in Benin 24/7. It doesn't have to be here. But he's here most of the time. He sacrifices his time. His family is in Abuja. But he's in Benin 95% of the time. The few times he goes, how do you know those pictures are not even recycled?
Okay.
Not Photoshop, they're recycled. I know it goes to Port Harcourt. Yes, I know Edo State PDP is closely knit with Rivers State government because of the work they do, because of the support they give to us. So we all know that. But some of these pictures will be recycled. I don't know which pictures they're talking about now. And I'm actually very proud when I see my governor, or the River State governor, and my state chairman at River State showing so much camaraderie. It gives fear to the opposition that River State will support Edo State PDP.
Does that mean Rivers, the persons in Rivers State are going to come to Edo State to vote during the election?
When we talk of support, there's logistical support.
Okay.
There's moral support and all sorts of support. That's what I mean by that. If you see Edo State PDP governor in Uromi every week, the Edo State PDP in Uromi, the Uromi chapter of the party will be excited, will be happy that this man is visiting us. Vice versa, you see the Uromo chairman walking around with the state chairman. This is also good to build a relationship across the country, across the states, across the local governments for a strong and viral party. That's what we're building.
Now, Mr. Chris, you said something about, okay, not just you, almost everybody, this cliche, everybody keeps saying that Edo State is a PDP state, Edo State is a PDP state. Look at the last national election that was done, look at the way PDP cleaned some seats in Edo State. Edo State is a PDP state. The question I want to ask you, if your party know that they are this popular, how come they decide to pull out from the local government election?
This is a politically naive question you're asking me.
Yes.
Nobody or no party in his right senses will sit down and participate in local government election that is supervised by Edo State government, written by Edo State government, with Edo State government, and recently now, you can see what's going on now, suspensions and sacking by Edo State government, as if there is peoples. We knew all this would come up. We saw it. I don't say we're Nostradamus, but we saw it. We knew that it was a farce. What we had in the last local government election, what they call local government election, was just an appointment of special assistance to the governor that he fires and hires at his will. And yet today or yesterday, has now officially fired the Isaka West Council chairman, which was one of the first people he suspended 2 months ago. I think his time of suspension has elapsed and he has not fired him. And I can assure you more councils were going to be fired. But because of the lily-liveredness of the people that were hired as council chairman, no one has the temerity or the audacity to go to court to challenge the power of the state government. The state government cannot sit down in his office and be firing and hiring and sacking council chairman.
They didn't sack, they suspended.
They are sacked.
Okay,
now.
sacked one. Okay.
They are sacked one now. That is the way they start. Suspended for 2 months, then sack. So by the time there are 2 months suspension and elapsing, you are being classified as sack. And it's not just started with this government, it started with Adason Shomole. It's an APC thing. They have arrogance of power. When they're in power, they think they can do and undo. And under Adason Shomole, that's how he sacked and dismissed and returned council chairmen, those that were worth it and not worth it. He did all these things. And it's being repeated now by his protege, his godson.
He has proven that he's not a godson.
Oh, no, this is godson. This is godson.
Because he cannot be godson and he's fighting against God for that reason.
He has not proven anything. Okay. All the governor has proven is that he's challenging his godfather. No, he has not proven that he's fighting him. He's challenging him that, look, I want my independence. Because if he has independence, he will have nothing to prove. So he's fighting for.
So which means that makes him not the godson.
He's the godson. The fact that you're fighting your godfather doesn't mean you're a godson. You're a godson. Okay. Even when you succeed in the battle, you're still a godson. It was once your godfather, and it will always be your godfather. That is the truth. He's the benefactor.
But this issue of godfather, your party started it.
No party started it. Even in the Bible, there's a godfather for every child.
Okay, but it was prominent during the years of
really
PDP in Edo State. Have you forgotten the names of the head of statesman in your party, late Chief Tony Anene?
He was not our godfather. Anene was the leader of our party, and we revered him. Was the leader.
Okay, the revered leader of your party.
Yes.
Okay, that you have to. That even if you have to go, there are cases where we're told that as much as small as version of the councillor, you need this approval.
You see, with the way Anene became, they had to start telling all sorts of mythical stories about him to make him even bigger than he was. That is Chief Tony Anene for you. Chief Tony Anene never interfered. And he became councillor on my ward. I come from Ubeka ward in the local government. How can he interfere in local ward chairman of Ubeka when he doesn't even know the person has never met him? These were things that were flown around by people like Adaso Shomole. In trying to give kill a dog or give a dog a bad day, he made all these stories up. And today we are glad that the tables have turned on him. Is he not denying that he didn't do this, he didn't do that? But these are the things he laid on the ground. You know, so not everything you read in papers you believe. I told you, Chief Tony was our leader, was the chairman board of trustees of PDP, and we revered him because most of the predictions, most of the actions he took was for the betterment and growth of not only PDP, but of Edo State. That's
you see, I like the way we started this narrative. We want to be wrapping up now. I like the way we started this discussion this morning. We started by letting us know about what PDP did and what APC is doing, and to try to put a difference between the two parties. Now, I want to ask yourself this question. We had a PDP in power for 16 years in Edo State before.
We had a PDP for 7 years in Edo State.
Okay, 7 years.
You've had APC for 12 years in Edo State.
12 years. Now,
years.
Those years that we had PDP, the lucky years and all that, yes. You saw Edo's yearning for change.
It's human nature to yearn for change. First and foremost, the lucky years were actually the best years of Edo State. Don't forget, Lucky took over from a military government that didn't give a damn about anybody. From the time before Lucky became government, you can remember, if you remember, you recall that even payment of salary was a chore, a very serious chore. The Edo State government could not pay salaries. There were riots, cries every day. But Lucky's government, within a year, put pay to that. Until Oshomole came on board, I don't think ever owed workers' salaries anymore.
Pensioners?
No, not total pension. I'm talking of salaries. Until the pensioners also came up under Adams Oshomole. Teachers were paid on time. Schools were maintained. The standard of education was maintained.
Infrastructural development.
Yes, all sorts of things. Under Loki's government, it was all spread across. And then if a great foundation was laid for the incoming government, which Adas Oshomole wanted to take advantage of. But because do you know that since Loki left government, not up to 500 people have been employed into the state civil service? The last employment was done under Loki Village's government.
But if you're talking about the civil service, I want to ask you a question. Have you been to have you taken time to critically look at the operation of the civil service? How they work? You go to an office, you see a particular task that one person can handle, you have like 7 persons handling it.
Government job is a social responsibility that has to be done.
Okay, you just employ them for doing nothing.
No. You see, you are the one that thinks they do nothing.
Okay.
You are the one that thinks they
Is it the duty of government to provide jobs? Or to create jobs?
As a PDP person, and also as a businessman, I don't think it's government business to create. I don't think government has any business in business.
So why are they employing to civil service? Why are they bloating up the...
Who is bloating up now? I'm talking about since Lucky's time.
Okay.
The state government, they talk about creating this, creating that, employing that. They have not done anything. The last serious form of employment done in this state was done pre-2007 when PDP left government. No. That is the point I'm trying to make.
Mr. Chris, I want to get this thing clear. Talking about employment. I want to believe that when the governor of Edo State was talking about 200,000 jobs, I'm sure he would not even consider or think of employing this 200,000 into the civil service.
Of course not. No, if that will
so because a lot of the civil service job, we see it as a means of compensation.
No. Don't say that. Don't say that. Whether you like it or not, the civil services exist everywhere in the world.
Yes, I quite agree.
They should be strengthened, they should be trained, they should be allowed to do their jobs.
Okay.
And when they give advice, follow the advice they give. With an effective and strong civil service, a state governor will not come out to make pronouncements that are illegal or unbinding. But now we have a civil service whereby they're all so scared to speak. Governments now make all sorts of pronouncements. That is why today the proclamation with a strong and effective civil service, the clerk of the House of Assembly should have been able to tell the governor that we will do the proclamation by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, not done at 9 p.m. if we are effective. Those are the things we mean. Promising 200,000.
But the clerk said, I got the letter. If you want us to throw that part of that part in the discussion, he said he got a letter and he told them, this is the time we should come for
9 p.m. Let's not the letter has been proclaimed.
Yes.
The courts have said the governor will only proclaim one letter.
Okay.
So for all of us that are law-abiding, we stand by the position of the courts.
Okay. So what do you feel that the 14 members elect should come for inauguration?
Definitely they should come because the people of the constituents are now starved of representation.
Okay.
So they should come then now, urgently, they should come then now to get sworn into the House of Assembly.
Great.
And I think if they know what they are doing, they should come in bulk whenever the House is sitting and storm the House and tell the Speaker, Mr. Speaker, swear us in today.
Okay. So there's nothing illegal with what the governor did?
The courts have said the governor can only do one proclamation letter.
Okay.
That letter has been done, and then we move on to the next chapter.
Okay.
That's done.
So they should be sworn in?
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking about the civil service.
No, talking about jobs.
Okay, jobs.
Talking about jobs.
Jobs, okay.
Providing jobs. Providing a member will provide jobs. It's okay. It's okay for us to be able to employ people to work for us, to have businesses, but it's not okay for a government to say, I will create 200,000 jobs, and at the end of the day, it's not even able to create 50 jobs. You know? You cannot take credit for jobs I create in my business. I don't work for them.
But is that not what Donald Trump is doing on a weekly basis in the U.S.?
He's making the environment, he's making an enabling environment. In terms of, first of all, what he has done to China.
Okay.
The unfair trade deals.
Okay.
Is encouraging homegrown businesses.
Okay.
Now, what are our homegrown businesses that we have that you say this government is helping us to protect it? So we have to be truthful to ourselves. I think this government in the last 4 years, national and state, more businesses have closed now than ever before. Not because of the incompetence of the managers or the proprietors of the businesses, but because of government punitive measures. Taxes are going up. You cannot say you're encouraging job creation.
Funny enough, I'm a business owner.
Yes.
I'm a business owner. If we want to be truthful with ourselves,
Yes.
under the Gordon Obaseki's administration,
Yes.
the tax regime has been quite fair on businesses.
So you don't pay federal tax?
We do. We pay federal. I'm talking about under state. Before now, we know how it's obtainable. Before now,
You say it's fair and it was. Doesn't mean it's fair. It doesn't mean it's good enough.
Yes, I'm not saying it's good enough. I say fair.
It's better than
because
it was.
before now, we see multiple taxes.
It's the same party.
You see,
the same party.
not just now, not just
he
your
was
party.
the chairman. Listen, my brother.
Even under PDP.
Obaseki was the chairman of the economic council that designed the economic growth of this state.
Even under Lucky,
Lucky left in 2007, 12 years ago.
Yes.
You cannot keep talking about under Lucky.
Even under Lucky
took over from a military government that used jackboots to collect money from everybody.
Okay, so you have to retain those structures.
No, you did not. Lucky did not retain so no. Lucky
Local government taxes. I get where I work. I managed the firm when Lucky was the governor.
12 years ago.
I managed the firm in this state.
When did it get better?
I'm not listening. I'm talking about now. We're looking at then and now.
Yeah.
But the comparison should not be Governor Obaseki, Oshomole, and Lucky. We're looking at PDP, APC.
Exactly. I'm telling
That's
you, PDP, APC. PDP left this government in 2007.
Okay.
2008, I had 1 year of Osubo, 2008. From then on, you've had this government. Now, you are telling me that your business fared better now than it did then in terms of tax collection.
Yes.
I'm telling you that's not true.
Okay.
Because I was also a part of that business. Under Oshomole's government and under this government, we get obnoxious taxes. They send you letters from nowhere telling you to come and pay this, come and pay that, and all sorts of things with figures. Only God knows where they plug these figures up from. Under Lucky's government, I don't think I experienced any of those.
Did you try to go to the?
I don't need to try to go to anywhere.
To seek redress?
I don't try to. No, you see, that would be try. I may have the opportunity.
Because we can have some officials come and just slam you with tickets, and you.
I don't have to. It's not because I'm privileged. I should express it.
But I don't. We don't expect. We will get those such tickets. We go to their office to verify.
So if I live in Akoko and I get that ticket in Akoko, I should call you to Benin to verify.
Yes, you should. You can be.
Who pays the bill? You see, let me tell you, there's a lot of ineffectiveness.
Okay.
There's a lot of arbitrariness. There's a lot of where government now do as we say inside the government since 2008 when Adams Oshomole came in. I'm sure you're aware of the story of the go and die woman. That did not happen under Lucky John's time. You haven't under Oshomole's time, under the APC government.
But this is not Oshomole's regime.
But you just talked about
APC and
exactly. I don't care who's good. Who's in power. I'm talking about the two parties.
Because we've seen a governor now, presumably, that is more empathic compared to.
Why do you think it's more empathic? Someone that has been issuing threats of damage, of bringing down people's property, whether rightly or wrongly.
Okay. Okay? If you want us to go through that part,
no. That's not my business. I don't care what they do. If my problem really, I'll tell you what my problem and the party's problem is. If you have a party quarrel, a party disagreement, don't bring governance into it. Don't bring governance or politics into governance. Don't say this man is not my friend because he's not towing my life politically, and then you use your power as a governor to try to coerce that person. Rightly or wrongly, I don't know if that property is on government land or not on government land. But what I care about
is the timing.
I don't care about the timing, really.
Okay.
If it's on government land, bring it down. If it's on government land, bring it down. If my house on government land, bring it down. I don't care. Just so, if it's on government land, bring it down. And now I hear there's a court injunction or whatever it is. But since the governor has pulled this pistol, he should pull the trigger.
But when there's a court injunction, what about?
The court injunction is an injunction.
Okay.
Let the court take its full course. If it backs down, it does immeasurable damage to his integrity and to his government. That because it was Mr. XYZ that begged. In Benin Technical, I'm aware of many houses that were first into this.
Sir, can I ask a question now? Okay, okay.
In Benin Technical College, I'm aware that many houses have been fenced inside the school because they were in government land. What is the difference between those people and this?
Because it's the same, the PDP, that if by tomorrow the government decide to go ahead to demolish that property, the angle we're looking at it from is that the governor does not obey courts.
No, you should follow. No.
So because if there's an order restraining him,
the governor don't. Let us. If you want to go there, let's go there. The governor don't obey courts. There are many court judgments that are pending that he has refused to follow. The restatement of the people of the College of Education, Ugeyeki, there's the industrial court order has told him to reinstate those people, and he has ignored it. So it would not be new. It will not be the first time disobeying court order. But I'm not telling.
So in this case, you want to disobey the order.
In this, I'm not telling you to disobey court order. So heavens will not fall because he has done it before, and heavens did not fall. It's not the first one. The last APC governor, Shomole, did not obey court orders severally, and he has followed that footstep. So unless it's because it is Mr. Tony Kabaka that the governor is now, because he's a party member, a strong party member, that is seeking his favor, that he now has to obey court order. If he is known as someone that not be obeying court order, what is the difference that this particular court order wants to obey? We should examine all these things. Why is he obeying this one? There are previous, at least 4 court orders that he has refused to obey before this one. Why is this one different? Was it just a bravadote trying to get Tony Kabaka to his side, which the man said was the issue that he has been wooing to his side? So why is he going to obey this court order? But I'm not going to go into that right now. We hope that he starts obeying court orders.
You see, the way you're sounding, it's further confirms what we hear. That there is this saying that goes on within the PDP that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That the issue with your party, the People's Democratic Party, is not really Obaseki, it's Oshomole.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
I don't get you.
Okay. Oh. That's the love that your party have for Obaseki is born down.
Not my party.
Okay.
You see what I keep saying? If you have a few members of my parties deciding to work with Obaseki,
like you call them,
try to launder Obaseki's image. Good luck to them. It's part of his 400,000 jobs. Which
but the question I want to ask is there no mechanism in your party restraining those kind of acts? It's not anti-party.
What's anti-party? Don't people leave party A to go to party B?
Okay.
What happens to them?
So actually those guys are not really your members anymore.
I don't know.
Okay.
They
you should know. You are the publicity secretary.
They will determine if they are still members of PDP. Okay. Senators leave party A to go to party B in the Senate.
Okay.
Is it members of the party that don't hold? They are not holding any executive position. They are not on salary from the party. They are just sympathizers or members of the party that all of a sudden they believe Obaseki is their best, is their friend, and they decide to work with him and to sanction him. Sanction him for what? Sanction him for what? It's a free, PDP is a free democratic party. They have a free mind to act the way they want to act. But as long as what they believe in. People leave parties. We don't sanction those that jump from PDP to APC. Why should we not sanction someone that says, I'm PDP, but I think I want to help Obaseki fight Oshomole? Why should we sanction him? The same way some of our PDP members are helping Oshomole fight Obaseki. Why should you sanction them?
Okay.
I've told you what my prayer is.
So at the end of the day, it's a win-win for your party.
Exactly.
Because the 2 children, they need to.
My prayer is, my son Komika, that Mr. Obaseki and Mr. Oshomole to stop on airport road if their convoys are driving in opposite direction and start fighting fiscally. And whoever wins that fight becomes leader of their party.
I'm not sure it's going to get to that because we're already seeing the truce between the 2 camps now. So
I hope the truce for the benefit of the people.
Yeah, that's
for the pockets of the party.
Okay, that's what we believe in. That at the end of the day, this issue is brought to an end so that there can be peace in the state, and we're going to the elections, and we should discuss issues. Now, I want to ask you this question: what is the chances of your party clinching power in 2020?
I think it's very high.
Very high.
Very high.
Percentage, 70, 30, 50, 40.
No, you have not done any empirical polling to determine percentage. But
okay, so why do you feel it's high?
The response we get from the people, when we talk to them one-on-one, visit villages, they're tired of the government on ground. And they want a free, independent Edo state.
Okay.
And they believe PDP is the one that can drive development through a free and independent state. They've been impressed with the way the Namibian executive has executed an opposition plan that has driven the government to fraction, to chaos, to the extent that they are now fighting each other for supremacy in the state.
Okay.
So we'll take advantage of that, we'll leverage on that, and give those two people a candidate they trust, a candidate that has a track record of delivering and improving development. And when it's time to vote, they will vote for their candidate.
It is on that note that I would like to wrap up this conversation this morning. Thank you very much. Like I said, when I was inviting you, I said, I'm inviting Mr. Chris Nekari to the studio. How will I be able to match his intellectual prowess? Because the man is sound. Because we've been seeing what you've been doing online, and we're quite impressed with what you're doing with the People's Democratic Party. And you know what, from this angle, we're wishing your party nothing very, very best as we head towards the humanitarian election in 2020.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Our party will make you double your income of this business because more people will be interested in what you're doing, not just in those states, but across the country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Nekari. So it's on this note that we'll wrap up the show today. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family. Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.